It might be fun. Oh, hold on. Hold on. First time I did this game. Let me see. Sorry about this. We don't. I'm streaming and we don't. Okay, I had to, for some reason, change it to... I never had to do that before. Sorry about that, people. But, yep, this is my Mickey Mouse kind of stream. This is Rainbow Ranch. When I first started, I got some little piggy pigs. I started raising pigs. My first female, when she got pregnant, I had 5. And then since that first pig, every time I get a female I'm pregnant, I only get 2. So I got 2 females pregnant this time. Not me personally. You sickos out there. I figure what I'm going to do, it's kind of just a chill stream. I might talk about, you know, I'm an old man now. Here's where I process my salami. I still got some painting to do. This is my little storage shed. My grain silo. Oh, let's fill all troughs. Over here, this little coop is where I put fertilized eggs. And this is... Oh. Now, I know I want to be attacked. The reason is the orthoscope is like a pain to use. You know, it should be like some of these other things where you just, where you don't have to like fiddle with it. And so I like doing it this way because when you get attacked, it don't really hurt you. It's just annoying. And then I know, oh, okay, that's a fertilized egg. Where I got bad, my hands don't work real good. Some of these like little things like this are kind of hard for me. But I don't got a ton of chickens. I could handle a lot more. Only problem is they do create a lot of filth. And this coop isn't real conducive, even though it's better than some of the other coops. This one's not real conducive to getting in there. And when you got a bunch of birds. There you go. How many eggs we got? We got 11. That's not bad. It's about 12 noon. There's my ladder. There's my little house. See, this thing, when you want to do an egg, you got to click the egg out of the basket, and then you got to, like, line it right up with one of those little circles, you know? And it should be, I hit E when I point to the basket, get the egg, and then it should be I hit E to put it in there. And I can put 4 in, and then I turn it on. You know, that's how it should be, see? And let me check my grapes. See if they need watering. I don't know what the deal is with this one. When I'm hitting this, it should be watering it. It was when I first installed it. Let's grab a bucket and see what happens. Oh, I bought a new tractor last night. Haven't even used it. Let's see. Yeah, see, I don't get that. I don't know why, right, why that doesn't work. We'll see if that helped it. Oh, got some grapes ready. Wonder if I can put them in a cooler. Yeah, so that means I'm gonna have to buy another cooler just for my grapes. I got enough coolers to process all my pigs. There we go. But yeah, I like the simulation games. Those are my favorite games to play. Put this in the shed so I don't trip all over it. So things I got to do today is, let's get this nice and neat. There you go. How much gas do I got? Okay, that one's full. So I don't think I'm going to put a door on my shed, but I do got to paint. So I don't like these black. I don't know. Should I do a hunter green, or should I do sorry, gotta do something. And enable chat. So I don't know. I did the brown, this color brown, which is kind of a wood color I like. I don't know what color I'm going to do the inside of the shutters. I like how lights work in this. See, that little dot is what you got to get to line up. And so it lights my indoor and my outdoor lights. See, so I was up a ladder. So, like I said, I don't know if I want like a deep burgundy, or if I want to get like a hunter green. So, I don't know. You kids tell me. Let's see how much we get for the grapes, though. Yeah, that should be easier too. Let me see. Okay, so we've got a few pigs. I bought a stun gun yesterday because I was always scaring my pigs. We had 16 eggs. I'm gonna use eggs, so let's go for a little drive here. Hit F to starter. Driving in this game is horrible. It really is. Since the game's not a driving simulator, it's a ranch simulator, It should be a little easier, especially once you get on the roads. Like, it should just go in the same direction and same speed. I shouldn't have to adjust speed all the time, and you know what I'm saying. Boom, see? Crash. If I'm looking at other stuff. Hunting is like the old deer hunting days. So if you want a hunting simulator, The Way of the Hunter is a much better game. Or I think the other one's called Hunter Classic. That's a really good hunting simulator. I've done some videos, I think, on that, at least on Twitch I have. I'm looking at my OBS screen instead of my game screen. That tells you something there. Woo! I'm a little drunk. So we gotta run down to the general store, sell my grapes, and then we'll go get a couple cans of paint. And then we'll go fill up our tanks. And it'll probably be late afternoon, early evening probably. Even though each of these is like a quarter mile down the road, for some reason they take you forever to get there. Brake, which is a space key. Woo! Yeah, I don't know why they put this stupid thing there. So let's come in here. Let's sell our grapes. Oh, that's not bad. So grapes do pretty good. Yes, they do. I don't think we need to buy anything. Let's see. Here, I like to get things done. We got trimmers. We got the sausage grinders. I think I got plenty of bullets. I got grapes. Yeah, got everything a man could need. Don't mind the snorting. That's just a nervous tick. My whole life I've had, like, it started with like 2 nervous ticks as a kid, blinking and chewing the inside of my mouth to where there would be sores. And then over the years, the grunting started. And, you know, one of the things I figured I'd do is kind of just go down memory lane. That was one of the reasons why I picked that picture from a party in the 80s with one of my friends, Lucy. That was probably, I don't know, 1987, I would think. I had my Motley Crue hair. Used to be in a lot of bands. Played drums, bass, guitar, lead screamer. Was my band, one of my bands was in the second Cleveland Metal 2 album. The band's name was Severe Warning. That was at a party. Okay. I don't think we're building anything, so I think let's double check the store. See if there's anything that while we're here it pops out. I gotta buy a bigger truck, I think, is one of the things I gotta do. Huh. Wood planks are $32 now. That's not bad. Not bad at all. They were like $2 or $8. Cedar cultivator. Yeah, I'm going to get into probably one of my next ones if I do any more of these. And like I said, I just decided, hey, I'm playing this stupid game, which I really like it. It's not bad. I prefer, I'll tell you this though, um, buy one of those. And then, okay, so now let's see, do we want like a magenta-ish? Do we want like a color like that? Or do we want a color like that? Okay, I think like that. Okay. Thank you for your purchase. Sometimes I hit E instead of clicking. So I've only been playing this game for a short period of time. And I'm just now starting to get some cash. When I started with like 2 chickens. I think that's, you know, first I did the tutorial one and I kind of, my 2 chickens died and I didn't really know how to do it. And then I did some research on YouTube and started this game. And when I started it, I started with 2 chickens, and then I got me a pig, and I made my pig nice and fat, and when she got real big, I sold her. I mean, I butchered her, you bastard. I butchered her. Oh, there's the bear. Don't want to fiddle with him yet. I haven't tried to kill. I've killed some deer, but I haven't tried to go after the bear yet. I'm kind of afraid. I haven't done any of the quests. Haven't done any of the quests yet. Like I said, I just been playing, doing what I enjoy in the game, which is working my farm. I've been putting in a lot of effort. Oh, hold on, where am I? Am I going in the right direction? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. There we go. I don't know how I took a left instead of a right. Now we gotta go get some gas. We got the paint, gotta get gas. There's my road, Rainbow Ranch. It's a beautiful place. Simulation games, I tend to play female characters because if I gotta look at somebody's butt all day long, I'd rather it be some ladies than some dude. Not that I get excited by animated characters. Plus, a lot of times I name everything after my daughter. And so, you know. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. See, driving, I'm a madman. Okay. Okay. Yeah, everybody complains about driving in the game. I don't know why they don't overhaul it. Let's fill up the tank. There we go. See, it's already getting kind of dark. It's 7 o'clock. I turn my flashlight on. You'd think there'd be a little more light at a gas station. There we go. There we go. Okay, so. Hard time seeing on the road at night. I got night blindness. I don't have my night blindness glasses. Okay, there we go. There's my little road. Must not be a moon out tonight. It's darker than normal. A nice leisurely drive in the countryside at night down a dirt road. I wish you could play music on YouTube without getting in trouble. There's a lot of... I'd be playing some Dead South right now. There's this one band. They have a song called Biscuits and Gravy, but they do a really good version of Country Road, you know. Makes me want to cry whenever I hear it. People a lot of times ask where I'm from. I'm from Ohio. Reason I have such a weird accent is, one, I spent my whole life around hillbillies. My mom was born in McCarr, Kentucky. There's my little piggies. Clean up some poop while I'm in here. See if I need some poop cleaning days. Yeah, little piggies. Oh, you're pretty clean today. Make sure food is being filled up. Make sure water. Okay. Go check these troughs. When I get a mama pig and she's getting ready to be slaughtered, you know, or to separate her. I'll bring the pregnant pig out here for a bit, and then I'll slaughter the pigs in there. And then I'll bring the, because they were claiming if you have too many animals, that's why your pig has fewer babies. So I've been making sure I kill before she has her babies. I kill the other ones. Trying to get, I'd like to get 5. Okay, now that's, so they're too far apart. Let's see if that's a better placement. So everything else looks pretty good. So let's get these cans in the shed. Oh, crap. See, speed control should be a lot easier than it is. Should be a lot easier. Like each tap should do like 2 miles an hour or something like that. So bring these over near the grapes. So we got those when they are ready to be harvested. Yeah, I know I should have dropped them off while I was there. Put my jerry cans in here. I don't like, my farm right now isn't real tidy, so I want to get it tidied up a little bit. Put my jerry can there. There we go. And then we got the paint cans, so let's finish painting their shed. Just point and hit E. Okay, looks nice. So we can now put this on my paint shelf. Let's paint the inside of this white. There we go. A nice little shelf. Nice little. And then let's see how this color looks. See if we like it. You kids tell me in the comments. So do both sides or just one side? Okay, let's see. How it looks. we go. So that's kind of cool. You can do. Maybe I'll do the doors. Crap, I hit the, oh, we forgot that side. Yeah, gotta paint that side too. And we gotta do up here. And we gotta fix this wall we screwed up. Boom, boom. Boom. And then we got boom, boom. Oh, we're out. We're out. But I don't know. You tell me what y'all think. Needs some kind of decoration or sign here. Let's see. Let's go down to decorations. Got a wall sign, a cactus. One of those. An eagle statue. Yeah, we'll put that there. Let's see, what do we need? We need 10 wood planks for such a little tiny sign. That's cray-cray. Where's my... What do I do with my... Oh, there it is. Make some planks. It's 5 whole logs. That's a whole tree to make one little tiny sign. Those little signs should be like no more than 2 planks. So I don't know why. Some things are like uber cheap to make, like foundation. I mean, I can build a foundation for less than I can build that ding dang sign. I mean, that's crazy. You know? I don't know why it does that once in a while. I don't know if that means an event has kind of happened. Okay. I think one of the things I gotta do though is get my tractor. Oh crap. Sometimes if my okay, so I got a little bit of log, but I'm gonna need more. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Okay. That's pointing the wrong direction. Okay. Accidentally hit E. Now we got to there we go. Now we got her. Yeah, I should have had things a little more. There we go. What are we doing fuel-wise? I filled it with a whole tank yesterday. Okay, let's get some trees down. There we go. Get rid of the stumps. When I first started, I didn't, but now I do. I tell you, one of the first things you got to get, as soon as I slaughtered my first pigs, before I did like anything else, I got me this log roller, this log carrier. It makes it, man, it is so hard. You gotta like line it up with the bed perfectly when you don't have it, you know. Yep. But man, boards are so going for so much right now. I mean, 36 bucks a board. I might take me a load over. Take me a load of wood over to the hardware store. I could buy me a truck. I can buy me a boat and a truck to pull it. Bunch of 6-packs. It's like that song. I don't know the words. Some country I like I really love Dead South. If you guys haven't heard Dead South, you guys need to go check out their YouTube videos. They kind of dress like 19th century kind of Western people, you know, not cowboys, but how like cowboys actually dressed, you know. And they play some of the older instruments. And, you know, the way they do their music is they'll go from like one basically kind of like beat time signature or whatever, and then they'll like completely change it up in the song. And they got this one song about this guy that sits in the bar every night and has to get into a bar fight, you know, and then he gets stabbed. And you know, if you watched, what was it, American Gods, I think, that show, which was like a weird kind of show, one of the episodes had one of their songs in it. And I was like blown away. I'm sitting there like, you know, because I stream a lot of garbage. I like to binge stuff. So I watch a lot of shows. Oh, it's raining on Rainbow Ranch again. What you gonna do? It's always raining here. Payday, I'm going to get me the Southwestern Ranch. See how that is. I'm wondering, like, one of the things, I want a dog, but your choice is like German Shepherds. Who has German Shepherds on a farm, you know? A farm, you need to have like a hound dog, like a beagle, you know, like a good dog on a farm, you know, because you're going to go out rabbit hunting, you know, you're going to chase things off your property, maybe a bloodhound, right? If you got bears, you're going to get you a couple bloodhounds. If you enjoy hunting small game, you're going to get you a couple of beagles, you know? So, I don't know why they picked German Shepherd. I mean, if you could actually shepherd with them, maybe, but you can't. You know? So that picture is from a party. I think that was from my 23rd birthday party. I never really, when I got married, I started doing Christmas, but I was going through a really tough time. I was already a Christian, but a girl that I thought I was in love with, who I had been dating for a couple years, she was a virgin, you know, even though I was like hound dog, you know. For some reason, I just, you know, didn't want to like force her to do anything she didn't want to do. And her mom and dad couldn't stand me because I was from Cleveland. They were from North Olmsted, which is like a suburb of Cleveland, you know. Clevelanders were looked down at. And so her mom, I brought her home. Now, mind you, she's 18 years old. She had a curfew of midnight, and I got her home like 10 minutes late one day. We didn't do nothing. We weren't doing anything wrong. You know, I could drink in that, but she did. Once in a while, I'd get her some wine coolers. That's what the girls kind of drank. And okay, so take this, get that. Okay, so we should be pretty good. Since it's kind of late, let's see. Don't look like the pigs are pooping much today. Let's go check on the chickens. Okay, maybe that's correctly placed. Let's go check on the chickens. Ooh, got some eggage. Be nice if I get a basket of, before the pigs are ready to slaughter, if I get a basket of eggs and then get another basket of eggs that I could sell some eggs. That would be nice. Oh yeah, I got a nice, and like I said, I do this sometimes twice a day. I check the eggs when I get up in the morning, and I check them in the evening. So I got a good amount of eggs today. No fertilized ones. Don't know why that is. Unless I've had them attack me before. Unless it's because the basket's so close to me. I'll go scope some of them, see if we got any. Woo! Got a good amount of eggs. Just broke one though. Take this one here. Okay. I think I got my fertilizer can in here. Yep. Okay. This is what's a pain. It should be when you got this little can. And getting these stupid birds back in is a pain. So what I do is pick one up. Oh, stupid bird. Ah, stupid bird. Grab me another bird. Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. It's easier when I roam around. How'd you get out? How'd you get out? Oh. I don't want to leave him in there. I don't want him to die. Okay. Let's get some sleep in. There we go. See, now you gotta like line it up like that. And then to get them out, you gotta like pick them up like that. See, isn't that a pain? Because it's so small, you know. So, in my opinion, what it should be is I grab an egg from here. So to get one out, when there's eggs in there, you just hit E to get an egg from here, hit E to load it in there, and it loads one. If I hit E again with no egg, it unloads it, you know, and it should just be turned on when the egg goes in there. That's my thought. I think it would be a lot more, let's see if we got any. Oh, we got a pregnant one. We got one pregnant one so far. So we do got a pregnant one. So that's good. Now, if she only has 2 babies, then I'll go buy another female. Put her in there so I got 2 pigs that are pregnant. And then I can slaughter them in, you know. So, right now there's 3 to slaughter and 1. But if she has like 4 or 5 babies, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see 4 babies. Then I let 2 grow up, and, you know, if there's a female in there, she'll get pregnant. And then when she's pregnant, slaughter the males. She has babies, right? Boom. I know it's not good husbandry practice, probably, to, I'm just here picking up some poop. Don't mind me. I know you're scared of me because I've killed a bunch of y'all with, you killed your mommy with a gun. But I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not going to do that no more. I bought this beautiful little thing over here for you. See this right here. See? Boom. So I got 2 water windmills because when I built that windmill, I didn't understand how to see what the zones are. I figured it would water everything within my ranch. And it didn't. So it would water the chickens, but the pigs didn't get nothing. I think what I'm going to do is over here, I think I'm going to put some sheep up, some goats. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is nice area for some goats. So maybe we'll do some planning with that. I'm going to want an area that I can do my thing on. So that's what that's for. Okay. And then I want some fencing. I don't remember where the fencing is. I think it's in the next one. No. I think it's in this one. There we go. Yeah, see, the fencing should snap the foundations too. That's fencing. I don't want the animals to be able to get out. Okay, that's good. And we need some troughs. Want to make sure the troughs can. I don't want them close enough to the thing that they can jump up on them. There's that trough. And a water trough. And then I think we're going to want a couple of walls and a roof. You know what, let's go with a window wall. I'm only going to do no, I'm not going to be able to put up a wall. It won't look right. Okay, so this will be where I do cheese and stuff like that. I'm going to do dairy goats. So this will be where I do my goats, raise my goats. So let's move this over. And how much gas we got? Okay, we're gonna need some gas. And then I'll go run and get the wood trailer. There we go. May as well put these last few logs on here. Okay. There we go, kitties. Going for a little ride in our tractor. Looks like we got some grapes to harvest. Yep, we got some grapeage. Let's go behind the chickens and come down around this way. Make sure we're not in the foundation area. Yeah, we probably are. I'll move up a couple more feet. tell you, this one saw, I wish it'd be a little faster, but it's a lot faster than the cheap saw, which is what I started with, you know. I tell you, maybe in how many days I'm at day 47, you know, I'm pretty pleased with how quickly I built up this little farm. I mean, it's actually a lot of work. I don't know why I'm wanting to get into sheep too. I do love goats. One of my dreams, I love Microsoft Farm Simulator. It's just too expensive. I can't afford it. I tried it with a demo once, loved it, and then I even got that Microsoft like Play, I forget what they call it, X Play or whatever, subscription, so I could continue paying it. But you know, that was like the only game, and once in a while you'll see it on sale, the new one on sale for like 20% off, but you know, I see the 12s are like 16. I need 2 more. Alright, but now look. The foundations take 6. Tell me what sense that makes. You know, I think you should get 4 boards. You know, 2 boards per log. You know, okay, maybe because these are smaller logs. But I think it should be 3 or 4. This simulation game, there's a lot of grinding. So if you don't like to grind, but you really don't have to think. That's kind of, you know, not like a first-person shooter or something like Baldur's Gate 3, where you always got to be thinking and maneuvering. And in this one, you know, you make a mistake, it's not good, but an animal dies. I think there's this game, Soul Mask, and I really liked it. I did like beta testing for it. And when the beta test closed, then, you know, and I thought of buying it because the game was really kind of cool. But one of the things I liked about it, not that you had slaves, but, you know, it was like a Aztec game, so there were slaves, but you could program them to do specific chores for you, you know, and that was really kind of cool. See, and the fence just takes 4. Yeah, there's a lot of grinding in the game, but like I said, this kind of grinding I don't mind. But it would be nice if you could hire like agricultural workers. Like you could hire one and say, here, you take care of this garden. You know, so then he would water it and weed it, and you could hire one to say, look, you're in charge of the chickens. And they could get in there, clean, muck out the chicken coop, feed the chickens. You know, I think that would be more realistic. And then you'd pay them, you know, there'd be like a fee, you know, you'd have to come up with, you know, $10 a week or something like that, you know, because like, you know, the game, the economics of this game isn't like uber realistic. You know, some things like a pumpkin you make like $8 for, you know, which one pumpkin that seems like a lot, but grapes you make like $78. And they let you make cheese, they let you make sausage. It would be really cool if they had it to where you could make wine, you know. That's one of the things I enjoy doing. I actually make a lot of my own fruit wines. I do have the equipment to do it, but most of the time I don't even bother. I make some pretty good wine with just, you know, I don't drink it much. I use it primarily for kipken, but I will have a glass of wine once in a while. But like I make a Concord one for when I do communion with my wife, because we don't get to go to church that often, and I am a ordained pastor. I've temporarily pastored at a Lutheran church, which that was one of the seminaries I went to. And I've pastored at different charismatic Pentecostal churches. Heck, I was a pastor, I was the evangelist, one of the pastors at a African American church. That's why my daughter, both of her godparents, you know, are African Americans. People's Church, we loved it. It was a great little church. So all that wood, and this is all I got done so far. So that's a lot of wood we went through to build this. A lot of wood. So I guess we're going to need to go cut down some more trees. Luckily there's some over here. That is one thing I am glad for. When you crash up your vehicle, it doesn't destroy it. You know, but it should be. If I cut the tree from this direction, it should fall in this direction. You know, because that's one of the things. It should fall the opposite of what I cut. And see, now it's falling towards me. You know, so there's some little things they kind of get wrong. Because part of being a good farmer and a good, you know, because trees are an important, oh, and there's only one tree that you can get. They should have fruit trees, right? I mean, yeah, it's cool having these, whatever these are, pine or oak or whatever. They're nice, but it would be nice if you had like a whole, like if they had like a place that you can go and buy saplings and stuff and different bushes. There's so much they could add to this game that would just make it so awesome. Like, I don't know, I haven't checked the mod scene, but it should be opened up to modding if you're not going to keep adding stuff to it. because it'd be great to be like, you know what, I want to plant strawberries. I want to plant, besides just grapes, and if I'm going to plant strawberries, maybe I want to make preserves or jams or pickles, you know, can, can my pumpkins, whatever. Okay. Rainbow Farms. Let's see. But yeah, see, when I cut this way, it should go straight in front of me. Just like, because if I was really chopping down a tree, I'd cut like a V shape here until it almost got the snap, and then I'd come back here and I'd give it one or two cuts, and at that moment it would fall in the direction I wanted it to. I've cut a lot of trees down in my day. Believe me and my one buddy, we used to do, a lot of, different jobs we'd pick up. And there was quite a few times somebody would pay us to, I'll leave this out here. Somebody would pay us to cut down a tree. I remember one time we cut down a freaking tree with a circular saw. It was crazy. It was deadly. We're up there climbing in the tree, with like this long butt extension cord because we didn't have the proper tools, but they were going to give us like $300 to chop this tree down. And we did. We're like tying ropes and we're just cutting it little by little by little, and then when it got down far enough, we took off all the branches, we took off the thin parts at the top of the tree, then we took an axe to it, and brought the rest of it down. And then she paid us extra to come back like the next year and take out the tree stump. And then one of my favorite times is, like I said, when I was 13, my Uncle Brad, who I learned a lot from, both good things and bad things, but he did instill in me like an insane work ethic. Well, when I was like 13, he would take me to work with him. And now, compared to a lot of 13-year-olds, I was 300 pounds. The most I've ever been was 420, 430. Now I'm 333. But I was 300 pounds when I was 13 years of age. So he would take me to work with him, and he treated me like a man. And he would like loan me out. So one day I might be helping out as like a day laborer with concrete, and then the next day I'd be getting like $35 to clean a construction lot. He was an electrician down in Florida in the 70s, and they were having a building boom. I mean, I would go in with him. He had taught me, how to drill for the electrical lines. So I would take this big, and remember, I'm 12, 13 years of age. I'd take this big drill, and I'd drill all, it would just be studs. And, the side of the house and stuff like that. And I would take these and I drill the holes, and then he would have me run the wire through them, He'd be doing another house. We'd come back a week later, the house is done. I mean, it's done. And we would do the finishing. You know, put up the lights. Now, I had a horrible fear of ladders, but he didn't let me use that as an excuse. So, I mean, even to this day, I don't like them. You know, real tall ones. I remember when I worked at the grocery store one time, I had to change the lights, and they had me go up in this, like, 20-foot ladder. And it was, you know, I was like 18. I was still scared to death of them. But, you know, I was a big guy, so little aluminum ladders sometimes didn't hold up to me, you know. So I had this kind of fear of ladders, but I'd go up there, do the lights. He would do the box. Like, I learned how to do it by watching him. In fact, a friend of mine bought this woodsmith machine that needed a 220 line, and he had an old house that had we put a new box in, 220 line, and it was kind of funny. We're getting shocked. Like, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't right. I shouldn't be getting shocked. So then I went and I noticed it's the old, like, paper insulated wires, you know, this house. And the house was run like a battery. You know, this house was, like, wired in, like, the 20s. And nobody updated. I was surprised. It was in Westlake, Ohio, which is a nice neighborhood. I was surprised when my friends bought the house that they, you know, let it pass. So when I'm running this 220 line, I'm getting the crap shocked out of me. And I go, that's not right. So I took my tester. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Not good at all. What happened to the tree? That's weird, huh? So I took my tester out, and I'm like, dude, where the insulation on the wire had kind of, over the years, degraded and would cross over, you know, because we had ground it. He didn't have ground in it, so we had ground it to a water pipe, a cold water pipe. It was charged, you know, and so, because it was funny, like his wife and I was getting scared because every time I'd get shocked putting this thing in, the lights upstairs would dim, you know. So she's like, what the heck's going on down there? You know, we're doing this, you know, in water. You know, it was a wet basement. And so then I'm like, dude, you if you're going to run this 220, because it was like a lathe, like this big fancy lathe. He wanted to get into woodworking because one of the other pastors, I was the youth pastor at this church, and he was the associate pastor. And our friend Richard was actually really good. He was the senior pastor, and he was really good with woodwork. He was like a father to me. You know, loved the man. So Tom had bought this thing, so I'm like, look, if you're going to run this thing, you got to rewire your whole house. So then after that, I literally rewired his whole house, and believe me, it was not fun. And I'm not an electrician, but like I said, for years I helped my Uncle Brad, and like when the family, other side of my family, my maternal side of the family, if they had like a light that needed to be put in, or if they were having an electrical problem, I would go do it. But you know, I'm not an electrician. I could have been. Most of my Uncle Brad's kids, one of the girls, two of the boys, they're electricians. He was a master electrician, had his own company. Funny thing is, he stole millions of dollars from the IRS. So there's, like I said, there were good things. I love my Uncle Brad, but he was a con man and a thief. But he was, you know, he was my uncle by marriage. But like I said, I love the man. Okay. Will I be able to get in here? Oh yeah, I should be able to get in there. Oh. So back to what I was saying. So, you know, I learned how to do all kinds of stuff as a kid. But me and my buddy one time, he found a friend that the foundation of their house was going bad. They didn't know it, but their deck head, they had this little porch off the back of the house, and they were renting it out, and it was in bad shape. This is a funny story. And so it was collapsing. And my buddy Rick, you know, he took, the lady said, hey, if you fix it, you put up a new little porch here, I'll give you $800. And the porch was, you know, it was like 4 foot by 4 foot. So I'm like, yeah, we can build a deck, no problem. So I go there, and the foundation of the house is like completely hosed. So that was one of the reasons why the porch was collapsing. Oh, am I out of gas? That's weird if it's in there. It shouldn't run out of gas. So the way it was, we were going to attach the porch. It was kind of like an L part. So we were going to attach the deck to the two sides of the house. And so we only needed, like, basically, you know, one 4x4 in the ground to build the one corner of the porch off of. Well, I told him, I said, we got to fix the foundation before we do that. And that's something I'd never done. And the foundation of this side of the house was just cinder blocks, and they had, like, collapsed. So I mean, it's crazy that it worked, but it was a corner of the house, and it was kind of like, I think it had been added later. So I went and I got 2 4-ton car jacks. I put some stone on the ground, some, you know, nice thick paving slate. I put the jacks on it, and I was able to get the corner of the house up 3-4 inches. Then I rebuilt the foundation, and then I told my buddy Rick, I said, this is where we need to put the post in. Right here. I go, it should only take about, and I gave him a post hole digger. I rented one, or I had one. I said, it should only take you 20, you do this, it should only take you 20 minutes and 1 bag of cement. You know, and I'll help you with the cement. And so, like, the night before we were going to work on it, he's complaining, saying, dude, it took me 3 hours to dig that post hole. And I'm like, what? I go, dude, it shouldn't have taken you 5 minutes. You know, you're only going down like 32 inches. I go, 32, 36 inches. It should have taken you no time. He's like, I don't care. It took me hours. So the next day I meet him there, and what he had done with the post hole was he dug a hole 36 inches deep, and it was a 3-foot square hole. So he used the post hole to basically dig a children's swimming pool. And I'm like, you are, and this guy's an engineer now, okay, builds cranes. I'm like, dude, you are such a dummy. I'm like laughing. So I go, well, we're not going to be able to use one bag of concrete. So we had to like put the post in, and it took like 8 bags of concrete to fill this massive hole up. Covered it with the dirt after it dried. And I'm laughing, and I'm saying, you know, 1,000 years from now, archaeologists are going to be looking here and wonder, why is this post here with this 500 pounds of concrete around it, you know? And then we built the porch. It was fine, but it should have been so much easier. I mean, we went through 2, because we mixed it. We went out and bought a couple of cheap, we bought a cheap swimming pool to mix the concrete in. You know, and, you know, small little swimming pool. And we mixed so much concrete, you know, because you're using like a hoe. We mixed so much concrete that we went through 2 swimming pools. There we go. What's going to be my wood barn. But let me do it like that? No. Be cool if it went though, wouldn't it? Okay. Oh, I gotta get the can out. Put this here in wood so I can find it easy. There we go. And now we got a nice little, this will be where I'm going to keep my sheep, over here. Okay. Yep. Yep. So, like I said, one of my dreams was, I mean, since the 70s, I used to read Mother Earth News, and one of my dreams was to, like, be a homesteader. Now, I, you know, could never do it because, you know, many of y'all know, you know, I have MS, I have congestive heart failure, I have kidney disease. Let's see how we're doing in here. They're getting a little bigger. That one, she's pregnant. Should get another fertilizer thing. So I got one here too. So I don't have to run back and forth. Yeah, once she's full grown, these ones should be full grown too. I'll bring her out here and then I'll slaughter them. But yeah, they're coming along nicely. Okay, so I don't need the bucket over here anymore. Put the bucket in here where it belongs. Okay, let's go. What is it? It's 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. 5:16. Let's come and check our chickens. Let's run this over where we do our sausage making. And we'll fill up this basket, start filling up this basket. It'd be interesting if you had to actually eat in the game, you know. Then there'd be like you could have a cooking element to it besides just making sausage. You know, you could roast a chicken, buy a stove, do some roasting, you know. Then some people might get the game just for the cooking simulator. I doubt anybody's getting the game for the freaking driving simulator. I do not know why this fence does that. Keep forgetting you gotta go through this one. They pooped on their bucket. Yeah, it'd be nice if at nighttime they didn't want to come out, you know. My buddy has a bunch of chickens, and his chickens... And that water trough. Fill them up. Okay. That's good. So I can take this bucket out and place this over near the well in case I need her. We got a lot done today, though. I'll say that. We got a lot done today. Yeah, the pigs are looking good. Hey, picky, 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 picky. Yeah, picky, 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 picky. Problem is, if I'm going to have to buy a pig every time to get ding-dang 4 or 5 pigs, you know, that's going to cut into my profits. Well, I think I'm going to sign off, take a break. I'll see you guys tomorrow.